Hi, I'm Hongyan, a PhD student from National University of Singapore. Today, I will give you an overview about our work. Algorithmic fairness and privacy are essential components of trustworthy machine learning. Most of existing work focuses on solving one problem, such as designing privacy-preserving learning algorithms or fair machine learning algorithms. However, in real life, fairness and privacy do not exist in isolation. So a deeper understanding of the relationship between privacy and fairness is necessary. In our paper, we try to find the cost of privacy when we achieve fairness. One counterintuitive fact of machine learning is that machine learning models are not neutral. The most impressive example is the racial bias in the compass algorithm. It is a popular commercial algorithm used by judges for scoring the criminal defendant's likelihood of recommitting a crime. It has been shown that the algorithm is biased in favor of white defendants and against black defendants. But why are machine learning models biased? Generally speaking, bias can be introduced via the training data or the machine learning algorithm. The training data is collected by humans who are often biased. The human bias is propagated to the dataset and then to the prediction of the model. Learning algorithm itself may also introduce bias. The model tends to fit the majority group better, as the primary concern of the learning algorithm is to minimize the average loss, which itself favors the majority group. To mitigate bias, multiple fairness definitions have been proposed to regulate the prediction behavior of the learned model. We focus on one arrow-based group fairness notion, equalized odds, which requires the model to have similar accuracy across protected groups, which are defined based on a sensitive attribute, such as gender. More specifically, we say a model is fair when its true positive rate and true negative rate are similar across protected groups. We call the gap in the true positive rate and true negative rate between groups as a fairness gap. Most of existing fair machine learning algorithms try to find a model that minimizes the average loss while satisfying fairness on the training data. Let me give you an example to show how they work. Suppose a university wants to build a linear model for their admission based on the SAT score and GPA score of applicants in high school. And there are two populations, blue population and yellow population. The model is learned on the historical data, which has the 80% blue people and 20% yellow people, as shown in the figure here. Positive and negative mean admission and no admission, respectively. In the standard setting, the university will have the model represented by the red line here. The model performs much better on the blue people as a result of minimizing the average loss. In this case, yellow group is the underprivileged group. Now, to get a fair model, we may want to use the green line here. However, using the green line can cause a privacy issue. Let me explain why. Implicitly, to achieve fairness, fair algorithm places this green line right under some yellow points with positive labels. In other words, it increases the influence of the training data from the underprivileged group. Originally, from standard model, the red line hides in the blue population, so the red line reveals little information about a yellow applicant. Now that the green line is right under some yellow points, intuitively, one can infer more information about the yellow points in the training dataset from the model itself. Next, we will formally verify that group fairness can cause privacy issue, especially for the underprivileged group. To quantify privacy, we leverage the membership inference attacks. The goal of the adversary is to infer whether a data point was part of the training dataset or not. So a higher attack accuracy reflects a higher privacy risk. We measure the privacy risk in a realistic setting where the adversary only has the access to the prediction API of the model. Now let's talk about the attack algorithm. Essentially, the adversary needs to distinguish the training data and the test data based on the prediction. Shokri et al. Proposed to find an attack model for each class. The attack model is simply a threshold about the prediction uncertainty of the model. The intuition is that the model is usually more confident about the prediction on the training data. So adversary can use this signal to infer the membership. The adversary predicts a point was part of the training dataset if the model's prediction uncertainty is lower than the threshold, and vice versa. After that, some of works try to find a single global attack model to simplify the attack. However, the attack accuracy is also reduced. In our paper, instead of finding a single global attack model, we adapt the attack strategy by Shokri et al. To the setting where the adversary knows the sensitive attribute. We propose to find an attack model per subgroup, which is defined based on the class and also the sensitive attribute. The rationale behind it is that the model performs differently even for the data within the same class. In our previous example, the standard model has a very different prediction behavior for the blue population and the yellow population, even within the same class. In addition to that, the differences in the prediction behavior between groups is also what fairness cares about. To further illustrate our attack strategy, I show you the cross-entropy loss of the standard model for different groups within the same class. We generate a synthetic data in which we have two protected groups, yellow group and blue group, and binary labels, positive and negative. The features for those different subgroups are sampled from different two-dimensional Gaussian distributions. The blue group is the majority group, and here are the results on the subgroups with the positive labels. The best attack model computed on the overall dataset is represented by the black line here, and the best attack model for each subgroup is represented by the red line here. Here you can see that the global attack model is also the best attack model for the blue group. This is because that the global attack model is learned to maximize the average attack accuracy. So it has a good attack accuracy for the majority group. But using this global attack model for the yellow group will result in a very trivial attack accuracy, as the loss for every data point in the yellow group is greater than the threshold. So clearly, our attack strategy could outperform any other attack strategy. Great, now let me show you more results on this synthetic data and then on the real-world dataset. We train neural network models for fair and standard models on the synthetic data. The table here shows the attack accuracy on different subgroups using different attack strategy for standard model and fair model. We can see that finding an attack model per subgroup improves the attack accuracy significantly for the standard model and fair model. In addition to that, the gap in the attack accuracy between the standard model and fair model is large on the yellow group with positive label. We call this gap as the privacy cost and the attack accuracy as a privacy risk. Now let's take a closer look at the privacy cost. Here I show you the result on the training data for the yellow population and blue population for the positive labels. The x-axis here is the privacy risk, and the y-axis here is the training accuracy. The standard model performs much better on the blue population compared with yellow population. Now, if we train a fair model, which is guaranteed to be fair on the training data, the accuracy on the yellow population is improved. However, the privacy risk for the yellow population is also increased at the same time. It shows that fair model improves the accuracy but also leaks more information about yellow population with positive labels. Now let's see the trade-off between fairness and privacy. We vary the distribution of the data. Each dot here represents the result for one setting of the data distribution. The x-axis here shows the fairness gap of the standard model with respect to equalized odds, reflecting the unfairness of the model. The y-axis here is the privacy cost for the yellow population with positive label. We can see a clear trend that when the unfairness of the model is higher, the privacy cost of achieving fairness is also higher. We also conduct experiments on multiple real-world datasets. Here I show you the result on the compass dataset. Similarly, we have 4 subgroups defined by the race and true label. We can see that the privacy risks are increased for all those subgroups when we achieve fairness. And also, the magnitude of the increase is different for subgroups. The takeaway of our work is that group fairness based on equalizing error across groups comes at the cost of privacy, and this privacy cost is not distributed evenly across groups. So in practice, if we want to protect the underprivileged group using fair machine learning algorithms, we must be very careful because it may increase their privacy risks. Thanks for listening, and I'm happy to take any questions you have.